right. We can push play. Welcome to the team huddle. I don't even know what date it is. It is
February 23rd.
February
Exactly what date it is.
23rd. Oh my gosh, what happened to the month? I know what happened to the month here in Texas. We had Snowmageddon. Golly. How come my hang on, my mouse is like freaking out right now. I'm trying to get my mouse to work. Okay, hang on. Technical issues. Here we go. Now we'll press play. Okay. Finally, I think we're I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. All right. So welcome everybody. For those of you in Texas, congratulations for surviving Snowmageddon last week. Hopefully you guys are nice. I mean, it was 80 degrees today, I think. So we went from -1 to 80 in what, 4 days?
A week.
Literally Tuesday of last week, I was wearing Sorels. Today I wore flip-flops.
What the heck? What the heck? So hopefully you got on the other side without any home damage or other trauma, because it was pretty crazy here. But we are back in action. So I gave myself the weekend to just kind of like regroup and feel like a normal functioning human being, instead of somebody who was like waiting for the clock to like sprint and do all the things for 15 minutes before the power went out. But we are back in action. Monday, we got right back at it.
Finally had internet Saturday night. That was a good thing.
Yeah, well, that was a really good thing. They initially told us March 2nd until our internet would come back, and we were like, no, we can't survive on that.
My phone are you using right now?
I'm using, does my microphone sound good? Andrew would like to know, because
that one's on mute, so that's why I'm really curious. Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
that's not on mute.
Does that sound better now? Yes. Okay. I don't know how that works. He bought me a fancy microphone.
Green go, red stop.
Okay, cool. Anyway, well, welcome to the Team Huddle. We are a hot mess express. Before we get started on all the things, let's celebrate some wins. So I'd like for at least 3 of you to just share something good that happened this past week in your business or for your fitness. Like, let's celebrate a win. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Yay.
I ran a mile without stopping, which I haven't done in like years. So that was a win.
That's actually really cool.
Did you run it in the snow?
It was hard to run in the snow, so I just took it easy and walked. But I did my walks, and I guess that was this week. So yeah, I got out in the negative and walked still.
Amazing. Congratulations on running a full mile. That's so big. That's a huge accomplishment. Who's next? Who else wants to share? David.
I got my fat meter.
What is that?
That is a biometric meter that measures the electrostatic in your body, that tells you your body fat, water composition.
I'm surprised you don't have one.
I have a scale that does that.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
We have a scale and a fat meter.
Congratulations, David.
I would make a great candle.
Oh my gosh. Who else wants to celebrate something good? One more.
Okay, I'll share. I had a coach that invited her sister, and she became a coach, and that sister invited a friend from Florida, and she became a coach. And it's like so fun to see that ripple effect every time it happens. I don't know, it's just fun. It's joyful for me, like, to see that happen. And then they're showing up like, rock stars, and it's just fun. So
yay!
I love it. And thank you, David, for being here. Love it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love all that stuff. Well, okay, guys, tonight's agenda, we are gonna, I wanna talk about the charity initiative for our team. We've got a little video to watch about the charity that we have chosen to hopefully bless. That's gonna be up to the team. Emerald Retreat, Diamond Retreat. Anybody wanna go to Cancun? Me. Cancun, Diamond Retreat. And then I'm gonna just like make sure everyone understands like a simplified invitation process. It doesn't get any easier than this. So we're going to just break it on down for you tonight so that you can end the month super strong.
Do I get to close out?
Do you want to start? Yes. Why don't you
I
start?
get to close.
I want
to close after the invites. I want to close.
You do?
Yeah, I want to close.
Okay. So let me introduce you to Susan Ramirez. She and I are actually like playing phone tag right now because I asked her specifically to, I wanted to talk to her about what our team initiative could help us with Austin Angels. I was introduced to Austin Angels through a Bob Hyland conference, and I just so resonated with Susan's heart and with the mission of this nonprofit. We've been monthly sponsors, but this year, you know, it was pretty much neck and neck between Austin Angels and the Child Survival Program. So this year,
neck and neck being the poll that you put out.
Yes, for the team. So this year we thought, well, let's bless Austin Angels. It's a local organization. I think it's really going to hit home. We have a lot of families who have been involved in foster care at some level. Some have fostered to adopt. Some are currently getting certified to foster to adopt. So anyway, I want to just watch this video. So if you'll indulge us, we're going to watch this video about Austin Angels, and I want you to just kind of feel the heartbeat behind why we chose this amazing organization for our team to bless. So hopefully it will work. No, go back. It's supposed to be a video. Here we go. Or not. All right, fine.
You're only sharing that window. This is open.
I want to tell you about Austin Angels and how we started working with children in the foster care system. So I go to a conference. I was invited to go to a conference called Together for Adoption. And Rebecca, who's on our staff, invited me to go to this conference to learn about the foster care system. And so we went in to a breakout session that was taught by a judge here in our city. And he began to tell a story. And the story that he told really moved me, because what he had said is that not everybody is called to foster and not everybody is called to adopt, but everyone can make a difference in a child's life here in the foster care system. And so the story that he told was about two little boys. And what he had done is he put on the screen two stories. One story of little Jimmy on the left and one story on the right was little Tommy's story. And he said that these two little boys had come in and out of his courtroom every single year for 18 years. And the story is that both boys entered at the age of 2 years old, and they both aged out of care at 18. And one little boy on the left-hand side of the screen. And so this was my first experience. I had never heard about foster care. I knew nothing about it. And he begins to put up on the screen all of the abuse that they had taken, all the neglect that they had suffered, all of the medicines that they were on. And on the left-hand side of the screen, the story of one little boy was that he was really quite smart and really excelled in academics. And the little boy made really good grades. And when he was about 8 years old, the parental rights had been terminated. And so he was open for adoption. And every year he would go to these things called picnics. And at the picnics, which is a beautiful thing for kids who are open to be adopted, would go and have the ability to meet families. And so the little boy every single year would not get chosen. And so it was heartbreaking. But the little boy at 8 years old said, I know what I can do. I can take my report card. I can take my report card and I can go up to the mommies and daddies and show that I'm worthy of being loved. And so the little boy goes up to all the parents and he says, I'm worthy. Love me. Choose me. And he was never chosen. And at 18 years old, 2 weeks before he turned 18 years old, he had gotten adopted. And the little boy, the orphanage director, comes to him and says to him, son, you've been adopted. Pack your bags. You've been adopted and your father will be here soon to get you. And he says, what are you talking about? I've been adopted. I've wanted to be adopted my whole life. And the father comes to him as he's irons his shirt and he's standing on the steps of the orphanage home. The father comes to him and he says to him, son, I've prayed for you my whole life. And I'm sorry that it has taken me this long to find you. But you will never have to worry about where you go from here. That you are my son until the day that I die. So that little boy moves in with him at 18 years old. And he puts him through school and he puts him through seminary school. And he grows up to create one of the largest foster and adoption agencies in Texas. And it's like, praise God, that's amazing. But the other little boy on the other side of the screen, who's had the same abuse and the same neglect, who's always meant to grow up to be great, he turns 18 years old and there's no one ever in his life that has championed him. And so he turns 18 years old and he leaves the orphanage and he has no direction and no one has ever played a role in his life. And so he leaves at 18 years old and he walks and he walks and he walks until he can find the nearest freeway. And he throws himself in front of an 18-wheeler and he kills himself. And the judge at that point said, not everybody's called to foster and not everybody's called to adopt, but we can all play a difference in a role in a child's life. And at that conference, I felt literally the weight of the world. I felt as if God had said to me, this is your responsibility. And we need kids who have people fight for them. So every single day, so every single day, we decided from that point moving forward that we were going to make a difference in a child's life because every child deserves the opportunity to grow up to be great, to be who God had always intended them to be. So we created a program called the Love Box Campaign. And what that looks like is a full wraparound for every child who's in the foster care system. Our goal, we know right now there's about 3,400 kids in Central Texas who are on the CPS caseload. And our goal is to have every single child who is placed in the foster care system to have a Love Box leader. And what that looks like is that a leader would come to the child every single month. And in the box, they would get things that they need and things that they want. But it's more than just about showing up with things, because we know that kids spell love T-I-M-E. And so what we ask for our volunteers is to come forward and speak truth into these kids' lives, to look at them in the eye and to say that your life matters. And we will walk alongside you. And while it sucks that you're in the foster care system, and it does, it sucks, because there's nothing worse for our children than to grow up into this system. But they can choose to rise above. All they need to be told is that your life matters, that you are worth it, and you can rise above. You can choose to make good grades. You can choose to have a good attitude. And the time that you're in the system is small compared to what you do for the rest of your life. And so we are equipping people to walk alongside our foster children, to hold their hand and say, you are not forgotten. We fight for you every day. I go to bed every night praying for children in our city. So they can visit our website at austinangels.com and they can fill out a form. They can become more invested in our community. And really what we believe at Austin Angels is that it takes a whole community to change. That if we're waiting for the government to change our kids and the DNA and the outcomes, it's never going to happen. What we know to be true is that relationships change children. And, you know, it's an epidemic and people need to begin to start talking about this and taking ownership within their community. We know that 80% of our prison population is made up of former foster care children. So if there's no other huge social issue that we all need to be looking at, it's that one. But then we're in Austin, the hub of homelessness. And 40% of our homeless population is made up of former foster care children. And I just believe that we can do better and we will do better. And it is a promise to every child who's growing up in this system and every person that plays a role in CPS. I'm promising them that we are fighting every day to make a difference. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So when we started the pilot program, I started sponsoring a mom who had 6 teenage boys. And in this particular home, it was the last step before a child would end up in a residential treatment center. So she got some real tough boys. And when we started the pilot program, I said, Mama Esther, listen, I don't really know what this is going to look like yet. You're going to help me to kind of work out the program. We're going to start this. We're going to create this together. And there was a little boy in her home, and 14 years old, going into the 7th grade, really wanted to go out for the football team. And so we go to him and we said, hey, buddy, we hear you want to go out for the football team. And he said, I do, but I don't make good grades. I've never made a good grade in my life. And you've got to make good grades in order to make the football team. And so at this point, we had already been in this boy's life for 6 months, speaking truth into his life. And the one requirement that we have in our love box is that each child would get a handwritten note every single month, a letter of encouragement. And so we told this little boy, we want you to take this card and we want you to put it next on your poster board on your bed. And every morning when you wake up, we want you to read that out loud to yourself. And we want you to know that we have already prayed this before you, that you will make good grades this year, that you will make the football team. We believe you. We're going to be checking in with you. Well, Mama Esther calls me at 6 weeks progress report card time, and she says, you're not going to believe this. The boy who's never made a good grade a day in his life has come home with straight A's. And I said to myself, okay, we're launching this program because if nothing else, then we have just spoken truth into this little boy's life that you can make good grades. You just needed somebody to push you, to show you that you are valuable, that you have these choices and you can do that. And then in the same household, another little boy, also 14 years old, we do birthday parties big at Austin Angels. We want to make sure that these kids know that they are loved and that they are valued. And so one of the little boys had gone to school that day. And when he got home, he got to open up a big box, a birthday box. And in the birthday box was his favorite brownies and cookies and that sort of thing. And he called me and he said, Miss Susan, I just wanted to tell you, I was so excited to get home from school today. I was so excited because I knew that for the first time in my life that somebody was going to celebrate my birthday. And when he hung up the phone with me, he said, and I love you. And that was powerful for me. Because Mama Esther calls me the next day and she says to me, that boy has been in my home for 6 years. And he has never said the words, I love you. And so I thought, if nothing else, we are launching this program. But the cool part about all of this is that when children enter the foster care system, they have what's called the level of care. So they're basic, intermediate, advanced, specialized. And the most beautiful part is that when they got all rechecked, all 6 boys had moved down levels of care. And that's huge. And that's huge because let's say we just saved the government $200 times 6 kids, that's $1,200 in one household. And Miss Esther says to me, Susan, I don't even care because what you're doing for me is that these boys are improving emotionally, academically. They're attaching for the first time in their life. They believe in themselves for the first time. You have made it easier for me to be a foster mom. And I don't even care about the money because you're helping compensate the $1,200 I was going to be spending on things like toilet paper and paper towels and laundry soap. And your group comes and supports me every month and you're bringing me those things anyway. So I don't even care about the less money. In fact, I'd rather have your program support me. And so that's when we knew we really had to launch it. And so the message is that not everybody is called to foster. Not everybody's called to adopt, but everybody can play a difference. And it has to be a whole community that comes alongside these kids.
Well, if that doesn't wreck you, I don't even know, like, check your pulse. I just don't even have words to say. So that's who we desperately really want to bless this year. So our team challenge, and we've talked and prayed long and hard about this. We didn't want it to be something associated with like a specific rank, that we didn't want it to necessarily benefit, like, oh, Joy and Andrew are just doing
Yep.
this to get 15-star. Nope. We want to have 15 paid diamonds anywhere in our organization. And so that's not about us. That's about us helping you. And that was really important to us.
Yeah, actually, and I'll put the clarity on this one because you and I talked about it a lot. That's 15 paid diamonds that don't have the last name of Bowen.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's not us.
Some of you were giggling. So when we have, and so in 2021, and it doesn't even all have to be at the same time, we just want to have 15 people from our organization be paid diamond at some point within 2021. And when we hit that goal, we're going to donate $3,000 to fund a special project for Austin Angels. I'm currently in the process of speaking with them right now to see specifically what that money could be earmarked for, so we know exactly what we're fighting for. But y'all, like, we hope that this inspires you to rally and work hard, not just for yourself, not just for your family, but to make an impact outside of what we do, because I feel like that's been something that's been missing from our team mission for a while.
Agreed.
So we're really excited about that, and I hope you are too. So how are we going to help create these 15 diamonds on our team, right, this year? Well, we have the Emerald Retreat coming up at it's kind of mid-ish, mid-ish March.
March has been March as you can get. I mean, like 3 days off.
March 19th through the 20th. So it's just a 1-day training. Like, seriously, this is
one of the best events we did in 2020.
It really is. And for March, for the Saturday where like the majority of the event is taking place, like this is like a retreat. We want you to block off the day. We have sessions going from the morning. We're going to do a live workout, and then we have sessions going all the way until early afternoon. We're kicking things off with Joel Freeman and his wife, Brianne, on Friday night, the 19th, for a little happy hour. So that will be fun. To receive an invite, you have until the end of this month to either become an Emerald coach for the first time by adding 2 active coaches to your team, or if you are an existing Emerald coach, a lifetime Emerald coach, then you can go Emerald again by adding 2 new coaches, active coaches, to your team in February. Plus, you need to achieve Success Club. So we achieve Success Club by helping 3 people. So if you help 2, add 2 to your team, that's 4 points. Now you just need 1 point. So adding 2 coaches and achieving Success Club in February. And that is going to literally give you the blueprint for going into Diamond. We also are announcing the Diamond Retreat because qualification parameters start in March. We are going to Cancun, come hell or high water. Like, I don't care. There can be another pandemic. I don't care.
Oh, don't say that.
I am going to Cancun, and I'm sick and tired of not traveling. I'm going to go. So like, it might require us to have a COVID test or or I don't know, what do you call them? The vaccines, but whatever. We're going to figure all that out. It's tentatively scheduled for November 6th through 9th. That's a Saturday arrival, Tuesday coming home. What do you have to do to get any paid diamond is invited to come. So if you don't qualify to have your room paid for by us, you're still invited as a diamond leader to come and be a part of the retreat. But if you want to get your room paid for, if you want to have the trip given to you, you have to earn it. So you do that by advancing to Diamond for the first time in 2021. You have to hold your rank for a minimum of 6 consecutive weeks. Right. So the deadline to begin your 6-week Diamond holding of your rank is July 29th. Okay.
Don't wait. Don't wait.
No, don't wait. Honestly, Diamond is as much of a decision as Emerald, and it should really not take longer than 90 days. It should be Emerald, your month 1, double Emerald month 2, and then push to Diamond month 3. That's really how that is supposed to play out. It's just people drag their feet and don't necessarily stay super consistent. So it takes longer. So we want to encourage you guys to just get it done by summit, if possible, honestly, like get it done. So be a paid diamond rank in October, which is the month before the event. There's really nothing worse than like earning a trip and then like taking your foot off of the gas.
Yes.
So like, anyway, just keep on going. Achieve Success Club or produce 1,000 CPV, that's customer point volume, March through September. So either help 3 people a month, or if you have 1,000 customer point volume, meaning you have
In each month.
Right. You have a customer base flowing of 1,000 CPV and you miss Success Club, you still got it. That's March through September. And you have one whammy month, one grace month if you have a stumble. So there's that. And then be a paid diamond at the time of the retreat. If you are a current lifetime diamond, then same rules apply. The only difference is you need to advance a new diamond coach in your organization. You yourself don't have to advance in rank. You just have to develop a new diamond. So
this is to get the actual free room, not necessarily to attend.
Oh no, any diamond,
Okay.
any paid diamond can come, but to get your room paid for it, you have to develop a new diamond. Okay. All that to say, we will have all of those details outlined in the team page, but that's exciting. And I hope you
sense
guys
a newsletter coming out about it. I sense all of it.
We haven't had a Mexico diamond retreat in I think 3 years. I'm flipping excited. And if y'all don't want to go, we're going. So just know that we will go without you and post a lot of pictures about what you could be doing in Cancun. Okay. So we want to talk tonight about how to just simplify the invitation process real quick. Listen, you guys, our mission is to end the trend of obesity. Okay. This is huge, huge. And I really want you tonight to get out a piece of paper and write down who your person is. Like when you think about, I wish so-and-so, fill in the blank, would do this with me, or would have known about something like this. It would have saved their life, or it would save their life. Like, who is that name that pops to mind that you're like, dang it. For me, when I started as a new coach, it was my mom. She struggled with obesity, not obesity, but obesity, her entire life. And it really impacted her feeling of self-worth, her confidence. It had a ripple impact in her relationship with other people. And so, my heart was broken over how her life could have been better had she had this community or even a plan to follow that wasn't like the cabbage diet, the cabbage soup diet, because she did that.
Which she literally did for our wedding.
So who is your person? Who is your person? We all have one. Who is the person that like, you're like, dang it, I would like kill to have them have a healthy, fulfilling life. That's the person I want you to put on a sticky note and put on your computer and see every day and realize that like you're running into a burning building to rescue people like them. It may not be like now my mom has changed her health. She's like lost, over 30 pounds and is really taking so much better care of herself since we started this journey. And that's been amazing. But it wasn't necessarily her that we were helping at the beginning, but she certainly was one of my whys. I wanted to help women like my mom. Okay. So who is that person? The challenge for all of us though, is like, hey, I only have little amounts of time. Like most of us have at least one job, if not two, volunteering all over the place. And so it's like, we have to be strategic about what we do so that we can just get it done and move on with the rest of our life. This opportunity isn't designed to be something that's full-time at the beginning. It's designed to be something that's in purposeful pockets of time. And if you are in your head about whether you can do this or not, you're literally behind enemy lines. I've been talking about this a lot this month, but like your brain is designed to keep you on the sofa. It doesn't want you to do anything new. There's this little part of your brain called the amygdala, and it's designed
Lose your
for
brain.
fight or flight and survival and reproduction. And it literally just wants you to sit on the couch and watch Netflix all night long. It does not want you to risk a no, or to feel judged, or to post anything that, you know, might not get all the likes. Your amygdala is programmed to literally stop you from doing anything new, including this business. And so when we become stuck, it's just that we're overthinking about what helping people really looks like. You guys, at the end of the day, this is an affiliate program, right? It's like, hey, do you want to do this with me? I have a referral link. Like, that's as simple as this gets. So the first thing I want you guys to, perhaps you need to take a picture of this if you don't already have a posting schedule. But the first thing that I have, you know, really heard a recurring theme of from newer coaches is like, I don't know what to post. Y'all, create a posting system so that you don't have to think so hard and don't have to spend emotional energy debating on what it is you're going to talk about. So here's a very simple one that only talks about the journey as it pertains to Beachbody 2 to 3 times a week, right? So Sunday is typically our call to action night between the hours of like 7 and 9 p.m. That's usually when you're going to say something like, hey, I would love to do this with you. We don't typically advise saying something at the end like, DM me if you're interested, because no one's going to DM you. That puts the onus on them. Put a call to action, something like, you know, drop an emoji below, or show me a GIF of what you struggle with, or I'd love to do this with you, but you're going to take the ownership on connecting with them. You are the leader in this whole scenario. Monday, we would suggest an engagement post or something just about your life. Are you traveling? Is it snowing outside? What does lunch look like at work?
Does your heat actually come on?
do
Do
you
you
take
have electricity?
your dog's on a walk? Like, what does your life look like? Tuesday is a great time to talk about tribe, like the people you're connected with. How are they?
Hey, we have a call with our tribe every Tuesday.
I
don't we?
know we could take a photo tonight and actually
Gosh.
talk about
Wow.
that. But you want to talk about the people who you're connected to in your challenge group or in Rising Phoenix. Like, what is the mentoring like? How are you developing relationships with the people on your team? Are you surprised at the amount of support that you get? Are you excited about the possibility of going to Cancun? You should talk about that. It's a recruiting strategy to like be like, who wants to go on a trip with me this year? Wednesday, another engagement post or just about your life. Thursday, sorry, I'm like got like residual crying stuff going on.
Oh,
Thursday
sweet.
is proof of the products, like a sweaty selfie or a recipe or a supplement, kind of like, you know, your Shakeology or something like that. And then Friday, you're going to just talk about your life again. Saturday is a freebie, anything you want to post about. So in this scenario, you're only talking about Beachbody like 2 to 3 times a week.
It's more about you than Beachbody. It's about being transparent.
Now that's important because what you want to do is create multiple points of connection, right? So let's say Susan loves antique shopping, okay? And so on Monday night, she talks about like this antique, you know, whatever find she found at this thrift store or whatever, and how excited she is about it.
By the way, Susan, do you love antique shopping? Is that something that's in your
No,
wheelhouse?
she
at all?
doesn't.
No.
Okay. I don't either.
I didn't know that about you. So
But if I did, I would be like, oh, that's so cool. And I would be like, hey, Susan, like, where did you find that? Right. If I post about my golden doodle, and it has nothing to do with fitness, other people who love golden doodles are going to be like, I love that post. And they're going to engage in that content. Now, when that golden doodle
or 90s
person,
dance videos.
what?
Or 90s dance videos.
Yeah, that one's crazy. When a golden doodle person is finally ready to make a change in their life, who do you think they're going to come to for help? It's not going to be because I shared Beachbody, 7 days a week. It's going to be because I shared golden doodle stuff and they love golden doodles. They're like, oh, that girl who loves golden doodles, I think she also does fitness. I think I'm going to reach out to her and see if she can help me. So you do want to share a variety of things in your social media so that people actually get to know you, and you're creating multiple points of connection so that those people who don't necessarily like fitness, when they're ready, they like you because you shared this other part of you and they trust you for that. And so they're going to want to get on that journey with you. Does that make sense to everyone? So that's really important, because if you're not sharing at all, then it's really hard to invite. I mean, like if you're just holding it all in your mouth and only sharing in a challenge group, and you're not sharing anything on your social media, you're dead in the water. No one, you're like hiding in a closet. What the heck? So that's not going to work. Okay, so once you are posting, I want to talk to you guys about the 2-week free trial, because like everyone's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do this. Great, let's talk about it. When you are sharing, you're going to share a progress photo. Do you realize like you can share a progress photo after 1 week? That's what that first photo is. It's actually of Missy's week 1. The second one is of week 3, but the first one at the top is week 1. And so you can share a progress photo every single week. Week 1, week 2, week 3. I mean, Brooke is a great example. She shared a progress photo. Holy cow. I don't even know. I lost count at how many people like engaged on that post, but it was redonkulous, right? So we made this Mad Libs kind of fill in the blank to help you guys know, well, what do I say when I post? Because you don't want to necessarily just post, oh, my Beachbody program. That doesn't necessarily like engage anyone. They want to know your story. So tell them, I made a decision X number of weeks, days, months ago. And at the time I felt, how'd you feel? I felt like an alien in my skin and nothing fit and super frustrated, and that I just was going to like fade in the background and forget about it all. So I decided to do 30-minute workouts and switch out my breakfast for a smoothie. I'm so glad I did this, because now I'm down 2 pound sizes. I feel amazing. I have my sexy strong back. I would love to do this with you, or I'd love for you to do this with me. It's literally that easy. So we recommend not using words like Beachbody or program names like 21 Day Fix, not because we're trying to like be sneaky, but because some people have no idea what that means.
Exactly.
You think you know it because you have the curse of knowledge. You're in the Beachbody bubble. But there are other people, believe it or not, out there who are like, I don't know what Beachbody is, but they, whatever Beachbody. Or they might not know what 21 Day Fix is or Insanity or anything like that. But I mean, like if you say I did a program called Insanity, there are going to be some people who are like, I don't even want to do a jumping jack. And you're telling me you did a program called Insanity? Like they don't realize that there's a variety, right?
I don't want 6 weeks of work.
So some people
100
have
days. What?
no idea what it means. And some people also are going to immediately count themselves out, because some of the names of our programs are extremely intense.
But incredibly descriptive.
Yes. So use words that they can relate to, like, I decided to do 30-minute daily workouts for 3 weeks and swap my breakfast out for a healthy smoothie. That is something everybody understands. Okay. So I'm actually going to give you 5 minutes, and I want you to create a post. And at the end of 5 minutes, I got some extra stuff for you. So this is a learn and do, not a learn and not do. Okay, so if you haven't shared a progress photo or a transformation photo, now's your time. I will put the samples back up here in just a second. If you've already shared a progress photo, you can find a funny meme. This one was kind of fun. Fakes sick to get out of running a mile in gym class. Me now pays to run 13 miles. I thought that was kind of funny. All right, so 5 minutes, get your post up right now. And if you've already made a post in the chat, I want to know what you talked about. Yes, Kelsey, like MM100. Awesome, Michael. Then you get 5 minutes to eat. Basically, something's got to be up tonight. Andrea, I did my engagement post today, but we'll post tomorrow about phase 3. Awesome. We got a little over 2.5 minutes. That's awesome, Michael. Let's get them plugged in before the end of the month and get you to Success Club. Let's get you to Cancun. That would be such a crazy story. Canada opens up, you're like, peace out, I'm going to Cancun.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Heck yeah. I think, that's the thing for newer coaches I'm so sad about is like, they have no idea how much we like travel.
Yeah, seriously.
I usually have at least one fun trip a quarter.
Yeah, in fact, I was literally just texting a buddy of mine who's in the business, and he's up in Burlington, Ontario, and that was literally the last person that I had dinner with in February of last year.
Crazy.
From a personal level, like on a travel trip.
All right, we're winding down in the last few seconds. So, a lot of people will ask, do I really need to share like a progress photo that often every week? Yes. Every week you should be sharing a progress photo. Does it have to be like a current progress photo? Like, you're beginning to now? No, not necessarily. I sometimes share, my initial transformation, or I'll share like what I looked like 10 years ago versus what I look like now, which is crazy because it almost is a little bit reverse aging, at least at this point in my life. Might not be in 2 years, I don't know. But
Stop it.
You can do some kind of, you want to talk about some kind of transformation. How are you evolving? And yes, you do as a newer coach want to show transformation photos every single week, because the number one vital behavior for coaching is proof that the products work. If you're not showing a transformation photo, and you don't have to show your abs, you can like be dressed in a tank top that's tight and your leggings and show progress that way. It does not have to be bearing your abs or your whole body. But if you're not showing progress, how do we even know that this stuff works? Michael was just posting in the chat like, hey, I posted my results and I had a bunch of people reach out to me. And it's like, heck yeah, because like if you've seen Michael's results, they're like, oh my gosh, shocking. And people would want to know like, what the heck did you do? Right? That's how I reached out to Stephanie. She had a transformation photo that had abs. I was like, what the heck? My friend has abs. Like we used to eat Chick-fil-A every day together. Like I know this girl. I'm like, if Stephanie can have abs, maybe I can too. And that's what made me reach out. Okay. So yes, you have to show that there are proof that the products work. Okay. So you've made your post, you have your posting outline, your theme for every day. You've made your posts. People are on social media to be social. Okay. You have permission to reach out to those who engage on your post with a like, comment, and ask them if they want to do this with you, okay? My pro tip to everyone is that if you have people commenting under your post, you should be the last comment standing under that thread. Kim Fitzpatrick is phenomenal at that. And she will be the last comment standing, even on my post. Like I'll like try to out comment her and she'll be the last comment standing. It's just her personal philosophy.
There's a Saturday Night Live skit in there. So
but it actually shows conversation, and Facebook likes that and will favor you in the algorithm. So when you help people, this does not have to be some long drawn out process, right? For those of us who have more time to give in the business or have been doing this for longer, yes, we sometimes do Zoom calls and kind of do a little interview and figure out what would be best for people. But for the most part, if you're a brand new coach or if you're working a full-time job, it doesn't have to look that way. It can look your way. And that can be something as simple as a message and sending a link. And the message is, hey, thanks for noticing. Thought I'd reach out and check in on you. Honestly, having so much fun. Do you want to do this with me? That's it. Short. The less you say in this business, the more money and impact you will make. You do not need to make a 2-paragraph invitation that's like, well, if you do, that's cool. And if not, I don't know. But then, like, how are you doing? I'm fine. And how are the kids? And then I thought I'd ask you if you might want to do this with me. But if you don't, it's so totally like, no, you don't need to be apologetic. Just ask the question. Just ask the question. Do you want to do this with me? That's it. They're going to ask, like, what the heck are you doing? And you can say, it's Beachbody. I've got a free pass for you. Is there something you're struggling with specifically? Right? And let them share. If you're not doing the free trial, the free 2-week trial, you can say something like, it's Beachbody. What's your email? And I'll send you the info, and go straight to share a cart and build a cart for the same program you purchased and send it to them. And then you're going to just say to them, this is going to be perfect. I'm going to send you a link to a 2-week free trial to our workouts. So you can jump in with me this week. Let's set up a time. Okay. So if you've never seen where to get the 2-week free trial, it's under fitness programs and share a cart, Beachbody on demand. And then you're going to choose the 3-month membership. This will give them 2 weeks for free. It will automatically convert to a quarterly membership, but they can cancel or change to a challenge pack, which is way cheaper, with just like a very simple process. They can do live chat, they can call, or you can help them. All right. So we have a link to all of this stuff. You don't need to like screenshot any of this, but we would advise you to customize the email for if you're sending them a trial, or if you're sending them the same package that you started with. You might customize the email to include a little video about Shakeology, because they're going to be like, what the heck do I need that Shakeology for? You told me you were working out, right? So give them a little video from your back office about what Shakeology does. So anyway, customize the email so that they have some information to dive into. In this free trial that we've put together for you, we basically are trying to help reduce overwhelm. So here's the portion fix guide, so they don't have to go hunting for it within the library. Here's a ton of meal plan ideas. So we found some on the blog that we're just going to reference so that they can start to understand the blog, because we want them to be resourceful. And then we're going to connect them to our community group. Jump in. Here's our, Facebook group, or here's my pod group. Then we're going to send them the link, because oftentimes when you send a share a cart email through the system, most email servers will spam that into a junk folder. So copy the link and then send it in your message, whether that's text or messenger, and just include a little message, right? Like in this example, I would always recommend adding Energize to a free 2-week trial, because it's unicorn crack. And so they're going to want it. It's going to help their workouts. And It's just, I mean, like, you're not even a good friend if you don't tell people about,
Wow.
about Energize. Why would you keep that to yourself? I mean, sometimes I don't allow my family to
So
use
have you
it because
experienced the shipping delays?
I'm like, wait a minute, we're running low.
Which that is actually happening in our house, but you go into surgery on
That's
Thursday,
fine.
you're not allowed to have it. So I'm not worried about it.
So anyway, this is going to be like, hey, here's a link. It's going to auto renew to a 3-month, but we can cancel it or I can help you convert. I added a little Energize for you. You can remove it from your cart just like Amazon if you don't want it. And let's set up, this is the important part. This is where people don't get the sale or don't get the enrollment, is that they don't schedule a time. There's no deadline. Let's set up a quick time to chat so that you know exactly what workouts to do, 21-day fix if you're doing a free trial, and what your eating plan should look like. And you're just going to say, my coach walked me through that stuff and it was so helpful. I have this time or that time. What works better for you? We always offer 2 times and we ask them what works best. We never ever say things like, let me know what works for you, because you won't hear them from them ever.
Let me know a good time.
Yeah, just let me know what works for you. What does your calendar look like? No, you tell them 2 time slots and you let them choose. You have A or B, what works best for you. If neither of those work, they're going to tell you. And
Yeah,
that's
and they'll
okay.
probably actually give you the time that does work that way.
Okay, so if you're sending like a challenge pack share cart, same thing. You send them the link and you say, hey, let's schedule a quick time to chat so that you know exactly what workouts to focus on and what your eating plan should be like. My coach did that for me, and it was so helpful. I have this time and that time. Why do we do that? Because now they have a deadline. If I have scheduled an appointment to walk through things on Wednesday and I did the share cart on Monday, they're going to get things processed before our call. Do you understand? So if you're sending enrollment links and you're like, here's the link to the stuff, peace, bye, and they don't have an appointment to walk through things or a start date, they probably won't ever finish the share cart enrollment. They won't, because they need a deadline. We all do.
So time check. I want the last 5 minutes. So you have 2 minutes left.
I'm done.
I don't know how many slides are left, but I know there's still scrolling
2.
down below that.
There's
Okay.
2. Okay, last step, we help people get results. Okay, this is what helps convert customers to coaches, is you help them get results. So you schedule the quick call and you go over 3 things. You set up a workout routine, like when the heck are you going, like put a calendar appointment with an alarm.
Zoom are you showing up for?
Exactly. Like you find out what time they are scheduling in their workout for. You're going to walk them through Portion Fix to make sure they know how to get their calorie bracket and what plan that puts them in. And you're going to connect them to the accountability group. You're going to make sure they know where to check in. Those 3 things. Then we have follow-ups for you. So
Portions in the follow-up.
oh my gosh. So you don't just like give them a free trial and then be like, peace out, have fun with your 2 weeks. No, on day 5, you're going to touch base with them and be like, hey, oh my gosh, like tell me a win from the week. You're doing so great. Day 10, you're going to follow up again and be like, hey, your trial is ending soon. Would you like to know about a better option to keep going? There's a cheaper option. I mean, quarterly membership is $59 a quarter now. So that's like over 200 and whatever, 250 bucks. I don't know. How much is it? Oh my gosh, math is so hard. Help
At
me.
$59.99, it's just under $250. Yes.
I
or
was
$240.
so close, but he looked at me like,
I was just
you're
letting her go
pitiful.
with it. I was letting her go. Like I'm like, I
Jerk.
wonder how long
He's
this will take.
already dropped me this week. You'd think he'd like bail me out of the math. Anyway, all that to say, you're going to follow up on day 5, day 10. And if they want to convert, we have a very simple process. And all of this is going to be in a document that you can reference, that we will make sure actually it's already in the, what used to be known as the units section is now called the guide section,
Yeah.
which is random. Okay. So your homework after the call is to spend 15 minutes intentionally inviting people with something super short like this. If you need to take a picture of it, please do so now. because Andrew's got the last 5 minutes. But yes, this is mandatory homework. Everyone's going to reach out to anyone who's liked or commented on posts from Sunday or yesterday. Your goal is 5 invitations tonight to either a free 2-week trial or the full shebang challenge back. It doesn't matter to me. I just want 5 invites. All right, Andrew, he gets the floor for 5 minutes. I've talked this entire time.
You have. So we've spent a lot of time talking about how. Those of you who've been around me for a long time know that why is way more important than how. Unless you've started with the why, how literally does not matter. So the diamonds on the call who have seen this, they've seen this side of Drew before. Most of you haven't seen this side of Drew before. So I'm going to quote unquote apologize in the beginning, but I'm going to get a little bit raw with you. The why matters more now than it ever has in our business. People are frigging hurting right now. And I'm going to give you a timeline of the last 60 days of our life, not to get a woe is me. That is not, I want to be very clear, that is not what I am going for. We are relatively well-adjusted people who have the ability to deal with things. And
High functioning.
yes, we're high functioning, misrepresented.
Unless you drop me, and then I'm just not nice.
We're really, this, I'm never living that down, by the way. This is roughly the last 60 days of our lives. I think it might be 62, 63.
Yeah.
In the last 60 days, and I'm going to try and do this in order. I have been diagnosed with macular degeneration, which basically means I'm slowly going blind, and you can't stop it. It's super fun to have. My dad was diagnosed with a super enlarged prostate, where it was actually blocking his urethra, and had to have a catheter input in the last week of December. The company I work for was involved in a takeover, so now we're being taken private by a private equity firm. We have no idea what that actually looks like, because we're finally through the process and we can start learning things. Oh yeah, Beachbody's going public, so we've got that whole thing that's going on. So I've got one group that's going private out of being public, another one that's going public out of being private. All kinds of what the hell is going on up in the air on those types of things. We had a week of complete isolation, snow. We don't know how long we're going to have power for. Will the entire reef tank die? We're boiling salt water on the stove in 15-minute gaps trying to get things going in. We prepped for a surgery, or a set of surgeries, forgive me, that didn't happen on time and have now been rescheduled to this week. My dad had his prostate surgery finally, now that COVID levels have come down here in Texas. He had that on Monday, only to find out that it's not just an enlarged prostate, it is cancer that's invasive in the lymph system, potentially in the bones. We're going to know more about that tomorrow, but that's been the last really 48 hours. And this is where I'm actually getting to on this one, is my son got an email from his professor earlier today, and I'm gonna read this again, not to like shine things, but this is the kind of hurt people are experiencing right now. Mental, spiritual, not even, I mean, physical is the way you deal with this, but this is why we do this. Over the last 3 months, I got progressively sicker and sicker, both physically and mentally. The doctors could not find reasons and ruled it as being deep depression. I am at the point where I cannot carry competently my teaching duties in this class. Today's class is canceled and you will get a different instructor. I apologize for letting you down. My parents were college professors for 35 years. I asked them today, had they ever heard of something like this happening on the educational level of a college professor? And their answer was no, other than a massive medical diagnosis, a heart attack, unfortunately, one of their co-professors had a brain tumor that did this to them, kind of things. This is what we're dealing with now, y'all. This is the type of I don't have another word for it, but despair, and it's not exactly the right word, so forgive me, but that type of mental anguish that the solutions we have, yeah, you can lose weight with it. Yeah, you can have a better longevity. Much more importantly, I will tell you right now, I would not have gotten through the last 60 days if I wasn't pushing my body physically every freaking day. I don't do rest days because I don't believe in them. I don't do rest days because mentally I don't do well those days. I have to have that period in my life where I am quite honestly drenched in sweat, so tired I can't think, because it distracts that portion of my brain. And I am not alone in this.
I have had
What-
2 people reach out to me this week specifically saying, thank you for not giving up and for texting me and not allowing me to ignore you. I've had several people on our team talk about how they're wrestling mentally with depression. Guys, if we have endorphins on our side and we're struggling with depression, imagine what the person on the other side of your message might be feeling. And so when I hear a bunch of ghosts, when people aren't responding right away, especially in this climate, I have 2 choices. I can tell myself, oh my gosh, I am such a pain, and I can make it all about me, and they must hate me, and they're totally ignoring me. I can make it all about me, or I can tell a different story, which is probably more truthful. Oh my gosh, people are so depressed right now. If you can't even respond to a message, how deep in a ditch must you be? I will be here for you when you're ready.
Yep.
And so I just want to encourage you guys to choose the other story because it's the truth. People are freaking in a bad place. And if you're hearing a bunch of silence, it's not because of you. Because they know you will be there to help them. Don't give up on them. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on your goals. Fight, fight, fight for that crap. So anyway, we just want to give you insight into what's going on in our world. I'm going to be going into surgery on Thursday, so you won't hear from me specifically this weekend. So, I'm asking you all to step up and love a little extra in the challenge groups, encourage and cheer for one another in our team page, and know that we love you so very much and are honored to be on this team with you. And what you do matters, you guys. It matters big time right now. All right, before we go, one person, please share something you learned tonight. Wrap us up.
Hey, this is Lauren. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, so one thing I learned is I need to take progress photos because I have not been doing that. And yeah, I need to do that.
Yes, girl. All right. Well, we expect to be seeing your progress photos in the
Yeah,
next week.
I had a hard time because normally I'm trying to take pictures of myself and it's hard to get the full. So anyways, I'll try and figure it out.
Do a bathroom mirror selfie.
Do I have to do progress over perfection? I mean, is that the most ultimate quote right there at that point? I mean, seriously.
Just do a bathroom mirror selfie. It works. You don't have to do the full body.
Just be aware what's behind you.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the urinal. Well, she won't have the urinal behind her, but
What
for dudes, that's a
bathroom
thing.
do you think she's gonna be in? That's so weird.
I literally saw a selfie of a dude today with the urinal behind him. I mean,
Anyway, on that note, let's wrap it up. We love y'all. Have a great night and finish the month strong. Peace.
peace out.
Bye.